Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Mrutangamaya Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. O Lord, please lead us from unreality to the reality, from ignorance to the knowledge, and from death to immortality. Om, peace, peace, peace. Dear devotees, today is a very interesting topic. Who am I? When a person who doesn't know Vedanta, if he hears this question, who am I? Who are you? Or who am I? Immediately say, come on, Swami. We know that who am I? Don't you know who are you? You are Swami Shantivratananda, minister in charge, monk of the Ramakrishna order, and you are heading the Ramakrishna Vedanta Center in Dublin, Ireland. Then, etc., etc. I am the John, the son of Joseph, and my mother name is Mary. I am a graduate. I am working. I finished my graduation from Trinity College, and I am going to work. And these are my hobbies. This is my nature. This is my strength and weakness. So we keep on narrating such type of details about oneself. It is nothing but biodata. So when we say, who am I? Do we mean this type of biodata? No. According to the saints and philosophers, that is not our real biodata. Maybe that biodata belongs to my body and mind, not for myself. So the whatever the biodata we give, we describe, that belongs to our body and mind, not of myself. Then what is the real biodata of myself or oneself? If you ask, the ancient philosophy of the world, that is Vedas or Vedanta or Upanishads, they tell that is the self, consciousness, bliss, eternal. This is your real biodata and you are that self. And this is one of the questions which has boggled the greatest philosophers across the world. The philosopher may belong to Greek or Rome or medieval period of the Europe or America or India, East or West. All the greatest philosophers, most of the greatest philosophers have boggled on this question, who am I? And it is very, very important question. Also, according to the ancient philosophy, this is the secret, real secret, by knowing which everything is known. How to understand this? Say, for an example, I'm using mobile. We are all using mobile nowadays. Hardly we can count the people in the fingers who doesn't use mobile, cell phones. So we all use cell phones and we know to some extent in different degrees that what is mobile, how it works. And maybe out of inquisitiveness, out of interest, have studied well and have know the every bit, every piece of information with regarding to cell phone or mobile phone. Fine. I am a very knowledgeable person with respect to mobile phone or cell phone. How it works, what are the components of it, and what are the things are used by changing few things, how it can be manipulated, how it can be better, how it can be made better, all these things. Now, since I know that what is mobile, what it consists, that doesn't solve my own problem. And I know about Mars planet. And I was one of the person who was instrumental in preparing a satellite which landed on the Mars. So I'm a scientist. I have got a very good knowledge about solar system, about the planets. Well, appreciate, well appreciated. Very good. We will, clap our hands towards your knowledge. But again, one's own suffering or my suffering has not come to end. I can know anything and everything in this world and its objects that can give name and fame, that can bring money, that may bring some power, that may bring some, what do you say, happiness. It can quench some inquisitiveness, some part of inquisitiveness, but that doesn't destroy the ignorance of oneself. That doesn't bring the joy at all times. That doesn't destroy the sorrow which is there in me many times, if not all times. So the ancient philosophers have said that, my dear, how much ever you try to know about the world and its objects, you may go deep inside the sea and you may try to find out the secrets. You may try to find out the secrets about solar systems. You may try to find secrets about galaxy and even beyond that. But but that doesn't solve the existential problem, the problem of existence, the problem of sorrow. So here the rishis of the Upanishadic age, say 5000 BC or 10,000 BC onwards, they have said that by knowing oneself, that is who am I, that is the only solution, possible solution to end all our suffering, to remove all the sufferings, to remove all the unhappiness or misery or sorrow. Now you tell me, every one of us want to live happily eternally. Some of us we feel that if we get a power position, we are happy. In due course of time, we will understand it is not so. And sometimes some of us we think we get enough money, then we can be happy. Yes, when we get money, we are happy for some time, but afterwards we understand that no. It can give some sort of happiness, some amount of happiness, but it is not complete. Then if I become a celebrity, where hundreds of people will follow me, they follow my Twitter account, they follow my all social media accounts, wherever I go, hundreds of people come. So hunger for name and fame. So if I become celebrity, I can be happy. But after being celebrity, we'll understand how much they are bound. I can go anywhere and I can go to any place and see. You can go to any place and see. But the celebrities, so easily they cannot go. They have to maintain security, they have to maintain so many things to visit any place. So the more they become famous, they may enjoy name and fame, but at the same time, their freedom is also curtailed. In a way, no doubt. So when we get all these worldly possessions, we need it. We don't say that we should not need it. We are in need of it, no doubt. But by that alone, we can't get the eternal happiness, or all our sorrows cannot be extinct. Here, the saints, the philosophers, and especially rishis, the spiritual scientists, they say that know thyself. Even Plato also has said that. Socrates or Plato also says that know thyself, or who am I? So when by understanding my real nature, then only I can be happy at all times. By knowing oneself, who am I? What is my real nature? From what I am made up of? By knowing, my bank balance may not increase. I may not get name and fame, power, position, all these things, but I can be happy, peaceful at all given circumstances. This is seen very clearly when the Alexander the Great, who conquered half of the world as per his understanding, he was unable to, he was shaken when he met a mendicant. Because, as you know, the story goes like this. He was the disciple of Aristotle. So when he was about to leave his motherland and to conquer the world, he took the blessings of his teacher, Alexander, that is Aristotle, and he asked, Sir, do you want anything? Kindly let me know. Since I am going to conquer the world, I would like to bring. Then Aristotle thought a while and he said, Look, my dear, I have heard that India is with full of philosophers. There is a lot of philosophers, it seems. If we can bring one philosopher, I would like to discuss philosophical issues with him because they are good philosophers. You see, even in those days, they knew about the greatness of this India, Bharata. Then Alexander said, Oh, that's all, is it? Okay, I will bring it. Then he attacked on Egypt and so many things. Then the present Afghanistan, then present, I mean, Pakistan. That's where he came. Afterwards, he couldn't come because his soldiers got frightened by that time and he had to go back. So present Afghanistan, where it was the land of Porus, that is Pururava, there he was about to leave. Then he remembers that his teacher had asked for a philosopher. Then he expresses his desire with the king, that Pururava, that, Oh, Porus, my teacher has asked one philosopher, can you get me one philosopher so that I can take him to my country and let my teacher discuss philosophical issues with him? Then Pururava said, Oh, my dear, we don't have any problem for philosophers. Every nook and corner, every street, we have got so many philosophers. Our land is with full of philosophers, so we can get it anything. But the Alexander said, No, I would like to get a good ones, a best one. Okay. Then a saint or an ascetic was known by Dandamisha. He was very famous for his philosophical inquiry in those days, as you know. Then Pururava, the king said, I know about a Rishi, about a saint by name Dandamisha. He's a good at philosophy. Why don't you try him? Then Alexander said, Please, I will be very happy. Then Alexander's general and Pururava's general, both of them, they left for a forest because Dandamisha used to live in the forest. Then they went and they approached and they also said that, Look, Alexander the Great wants you, so please come, we will take you to our motherland as Greeks or Rome. Then Dandamisha said, Why should I come? I will not come anywhere. I am happy here. Then they said, Oh, we will give enough money, we will give good gold, diamond, pearls, all these things. But he said, No, no. Then they threatened. Then still he said no. Then it went and it was reported to the king and emperor also. Then Alexander thought, Okay, let me go myself. And he came with a small army and he said, please come to our place. We would like to take you. He said, Why? Because my teacher wants. He said, Yes, if your teacher wants, fine, but why should I come? Then he said, I'll give money. No, I will give a lot of gold, pearls, diamonds, and all. Then he said, I'm a monk. What should I do with all this? I don't need anything. Then he pasted, he threatened all these things. Then Alexander said, I will kill you if you don't come. Then this Dandamisha, he laughed, heartily, very loudly. I mean, Alexander was stunned. Even I am threatening you that I will kill you. Even the big kings and generals and soldiers, they all got frightened, but you didn't get frightened. And instead of that, you are laughing. How is it possible? Why are you laughing? Then he said, Alexander, you are saying that you are the greatest emperor, one of the greatest emperor, and you are telling a big lie. Big lie? When did I tell a lie? Then Dhanamish said, Just you said that you want to kill me. He said, Yes, I do mean it. The Dhanamish said, You cannot kill me. Why? I am the self. I am the Atman. So Atman cannot be killed by anyone. Nainam chindhanti shastrani nainam dahati pavakaha nachainam kledayantyapo na shoshayati maruta. No weapon can kill me. No fire can burn me. No air can dry me. No water can wet me. So I am Shivoham, Shivoham, Shivoham. I am that auspicious. I am that complete. I am that Purna. So that is my real nature. You can't do anything. You can kill this body. You can cut this body into pieces, but I am not the body. Then Alexander, first time he saw a just ascetic, penniless beggar. He doesn't have anything except a piece of cloth on his body. He is not getting shaken by the emperor, and rather the ascetic is shaking the Alexander. Oh my goodness. Then so much he pasted with all humbleness. Then finally, Dandamisha said, look, I will ask one question. If you satisfactorily reply, then I would like to come with you. Then at least Alexander said, okay, thank God that at least now he's agreeing. Then Alexander said, yes, my dear, please ask. Then Dandamisha said, how are you going back? They said, we are going back in this particular area, in this particular route. Then Dandamisha said, fine. Then there's a big desert on the route. Are you aware? Alexander nodded his head and he said, yes, I'm aware of it. Then while going desert, you may have a problem of food and water. What are you going to do? Alexander thought, okay, because the Dandamisha is bothering about his food and water, that's why he's asking. He said, don't bother, don't worry. We have got a cart of water and cart of food. So your food and water is taken care. So that was your concern, if so. So don't worry, you are well taken care. You are not allowed to die out of starvation. Then Dandamisha said, no, again you are mistaking me. I'm not asking, just you answer. He said, we have got enough water and enough food. Then Dandamisha said, fine, for argument's sake, while going on while traveling, because of some reason, the water and the food, everything got extinct, got over, exhausted. Then you are thirsty because of scorching sun and you are traveling in the desert. What do you expect then? He said, I need some water for drinking at least. Fine, there is no water in with you. Yes, I will try to find out the water. Then Dandamisha said, if so a person is coming opposite to you who is carrying just a bottle of water, which is made of leather bags in those days. So he has got probably a liter or two in his leather bag. What do you do? Then Alexander said, okay, then I will ask him, please give. Dandamisha said, if he refuses, then I will say, I will give some gold, some diamond, pearl, or whatever. Then I will, I will ask him to exchange. Then Dandamisha said, no, he will not give, and you should not kill him. Fine. And at the same time, whatever you try to give, say a plate of, or maybe 10 kg of gold, 10 kg of pearls, 10 kg of diamonds you want to give, and he says no. What will you do? Then Alexander scratched his head and he said, probably then I will say, what I will give a cart, what you say, I will give a cart of things, whatever I have got. Then Dandamisha said, fine, but even if he doesn't agree, what will you do? Then he says, because I need water very badly, so whatever I have got, among that half of the property, half of the wealth I will give, kindly give the water. Then even if that person refuses, then I will say that whatever money or whatever the wealth I have got, I will give, please give this water. Then Dandamisha again, loudly, he laughed. See, you have got so much gold, so much diamond, pearls, and whatnot, so many artcrafts you might have got. But all things come to the level of just a liter or two of water. 1 or 2 liters of water, you couldn't buy 1 or 2 liters of water with all your wealth at a given point of time. So this is what the value, worth of all your wealth. So my dear, so why should I come for your wealth? And here, mother is mother in the form of Bhagirathi, or in the form of Saraswati. She's ever flowing. I have got so many gallons of water and so much fruits I have got to fill my tummy, stomach. And I've got a big forest to sleep. Wherever I want, I would like to sleep, I can sleep. Then why should I come for you? Can you do me a favor? Alexander said, kindly come aside. Why? because you are standing against the sun so that I'm not getting sunlight enough. I am sleeping on the stone slab. I'm not getting sunlight. I want sunlight. You are standing in between the sun and me. So please, if you can come away, then I'll be able to get the sunlight and I will have a sun bath. So whatever he tried, Alexander, he couldn't. There he understood what is the role of spirituality, what is the worth of the knowledge, what is the worth of the self knowledge. Then he paid his respects and he went back. So that changed the lot of mindset. I mean, an attitude or the mindset of Alexander at all for to the larger extent. So this is the greatness, this is the importance, or this is the uniqueness of the Vedantic knowledge. That is the self knowledge, knowledge of the self. Who am I? I am the self. The moment when you understand what will happen, you can be peaceful at all times. You will be happy at all times. I'm struggling every day to attain so many things. Why? One is to have the basic necessities, bread and butter, and cloth and shelter, no doubt. Apart from that, if you see, two things only. One is security, the other is peace. How much our money we get it, it is not that it doesn't guarantee my security all the times. And how much our money, how much our things I want, even after accumulation, after some days, the same thing will unable to give me the peace, will be unable to give the happiness. So the happiness and security doesn't lie outside, rather it lies inside in my nature. That is what Satchitananda, existence, consciousness, and bliss absolute. That is my real nature. So that we have to understand. So this is the age-old, ancient remedy for all the problems, even the modern problems. You may have got stress, you may have psychosomatic problems, you may have theory of alienation or existential problem. For all these things, the solution is what? The knowledge of the self or the self-knowledge. So here, there is a fundamental difference between Eastern philosophy and the Western philosophy, that is Oriental and Occidental philosophy. In the Western philosophy, at broad canvas, it is a dichotomic theory. Dichotomy means it is a two. They only say body and spirit. Spirit is nothing but sort of mind, actually. So, body and mind, these are the two realities for them. Body and mind, or subtle body or spirit. That's why we known people, they won't use the word spirit for the self or for the Atman. Because spirit means it is mind. Now, in the Eastern philosophy, especially Indian philosophy, it is a trichotomous theory. Trichotomous theory means it is a three realities or three entities. One is body, the second is mind, and the third is self or the Atman or the consciousness. So the body and mind is not real or it is not eternal, whereas the conscious alone is eternal. That is our reality. That is our nature, real nature. And this body and mind is what like weapons. I'm wearing this cloth. Tomorrow I will change it. And I'm using this cloth by almost 1.5 year or two. Slowly it is getting faded now. Maybe after some times when it become owned or when it become old, I can wear anymore, then I will throw away this. Isn't it? This is a cloth which I'm covering my body. So similarly, the soul has been covered by this physical body. So my body, I am not the body, but we only forget and we get confused. We are unconsciously, we are thinking that I am the body. Though we say that my body, my vehicle, my body, this body belongs to me, but I am not the body. But we are getting confused and we are suffering. And the moment you understand this knowledge, what happens? For example, you have got a headache. Suddenly say, one fellow, Swamiji, I'm really bothered. Why? Because there is a severe headache. For whom? For me. For me means for whom? For me, Swamiji. Why are you asking this question at this point? Can you give me any solution? I say that kindly find out the headache is for whom? Then, oh my dear Swami, why are you already I've got a headache? Why are you eating my head? I should not have come to you. I said, please be calm, quiet, serene, and just start thinking. Then, after much what you say gymnastics, he answers that yes, this body has got headache, or my head has got headache. The head is a part of this physical body. So your physical body has got a headache, which is the part is head, not you. I am the self. I am not the body and mind. If so, then the headache comes to head or for the body, physical body, not for you. When you can separate yourself from this, then what happens? Whatever the problem comes, you'll be able to understand that it is for your body and mind, not for you. That give tremendous confidence, tremendous strength to face the difficulties, to solve the difficulties, to rise ourselves from the difficulties. Probably I'll give one more example. You'll be able to understand. One person came, he had some prejudice or wrong understanding about the Buddha. And Lord Buddha gave, he was sitting under a tree and he was giving a good sermon, a beautiful sermon. Hundreds of disciples, lay and monastic disciples, were sitting reverentially. They were all listening to his sermon. After, when Buddha finished his sermon, the disciples, one by one, slowly, some of them, they asked questions, and afterwards, one by one, they paid their respects and they were leaving. Majority of the disciples have left. Few were there, and this fellow came and he started abusing Buddha in a very vulgar language, very foul language. Buddha, just he was kept calm, quiet, serene, with smiling face. He was listening. Whereas the disciples are getting frightened, where they're getting angry. How can this fellow, the rogue, how can he use such a vulgar and foul language to the Lord Buddha? Such a great sage he is. He doesn't understand and is you abusing him. But Buddha is sitting quiet and is not reacting and is not giving any instructions. So, out of respect and out of helplessness, these people are keeping quiet and they are trying to control their emotions and their reactions. 10 minutes over, 5, 10, 15 minutes over. He had used the best possible foul language to scold Buddha, but Buddha had a similar same face with that quiet and serene and simple and with that smiling face. Then after 15 minutes, the person who was scolding, he got a question. He started feeling uneasy and doubt. Then he asked, Sir, Buddha, do you understand? Are you understanding whatever I am scolding? Buddha, he nods, says that, yes, I am understanding. I know your language. I understand your language. Then I am scolding you with the best foul words, vulgar words. Why are you not getting annoyed? Why you're not getting angry? Why you're not reacting? Then Buddha said, okay, since you are asking, now I would like to tell. Before answering your question, I have got a question. Will you answer me? That fellow said, okay. Then he said, okay, if you have got 10 euros, you want to give for me. I will say, no, I don't need it. I will not take. Then the 10 euros the 10 euros will be with whom? The fellow said, it is a common sense. Anyone, first standard or second standard boy, girl can say, child can say, it will be with me only. Then the Buddha said, similarly, my dear, when these scoldings and the foul language you are using, you wanted to give to me, I didn't receive. I don't want to receive, and I don't need also. That means when he said that, the person who was scolding, he got shocked and he was unable to speak any thing. Means whatever you gave, I didn't receive. It was yours and it will be with you only. It will be yours only. It was yours and it is yours. It will be yours only. So it was a tight slap on that fellow's cheek. Then he understood what is the greatness of Buddha. Because after so much trying to make him annoyed or whatever, still he didn't get annoyed. That means what is the greatness of Buddha? What is that spiritual strength? What is his inner strength? He understood. Then the fellow who came to scold him, he fell at the feet of Buddha and he asked pardon. Again, the same time, even at that time also, there was no change in Buddha's mind or in his face. He was with the same smiling, with that peace and tranquility. He blessed him and he said, May May you be the illumine of yourself. Atmadeepo Bhava. Then that fellow also became one of the ardent disciple of Buddha. See, such type of situations we keep on facing in our day-to-day life with our family members, with the relatives, with our friends, in the company and all. So even small sentences can disturb our peace. Why? Because we are attached with our body and mind. We are mixed up our understanding with the body and mind. Though we say that my body, my mind, but we are thinking that I am the body and I am the mind. That's why this problem is. That's why the Vedanta says that try to understand who are you or who am I. The moment when I understand I am the self, like Buddha, then he was enlightened once. That's why when the person was scolding, he didn't get reacted, he didn't get moved, he didn't get perturbed. So he didn't try to change him, rather, he was unaffected. So the first and foremost is try to be unaffected is very important. Afterwards, changing the people comes the second part. But if the same reaction, same situation is there, we shall all imagine, we can all very well imagine that what will be our reactions. So this is the greatness of this Vedantic knowledge, or this is the necessity. Why should we understand our real nature? I am not the body, that is my body, or the body belongs to me. I am not the mind, and the mind belongs to me, just like an instrument. That's why in Bhagavad Gita, there's a beautiful verse. Vasansi jirnani yatha vihaya navani grunhati naroparani tata sharirani vihaya jirnan anyani sanyati navani dehi. Just like a person, when his clothes are worn out or become old, he leaves it and he wears a new cloth. Similarly, the embodied self takes a new body, and when it has been old enough, it leaves and again it assumes or it takes the new body. Just like I throw this old cloth and I take a new cloth, I wear a new cloth, wear new clothes. So similarly, the embodied soul leaves this old physical body and takes one more new physical body. The fear of death, which is one of the greatest fear for all of us, either the poor and the rich, either the sinner or the saint, or the religious or atheist. Every one of us, we fear of death. So even the fear of death can be controlled, can be conquered by knowing this self-knowledge. And beautifully, the Upanishads has given a lot of descriptions about it. One of the wonderful description about the self is Atmanam Ratinam Vidhi. Kathopanishad, one of the beautiful Upanishad, it says, Atmanam Ratinam Vidhi. Know that the Atman or the self is the person who is sitting in the chariot, means who is the owner of the chariot. Atmanam Ratinam Vidhi. Shariram Ratamevatu. And Sharira, this body is nothing but the chariot. Of course, in the modern days, we can say that a car is nothing but the vehicle car is nothing but the body. And the owner of the car is what? Nothing but the self. Then, buddhintus saratim vidhi. The intellect is nothing but the driver of the chariot, of the vehicle. Manapragravahan naraha. In the olden days, if you remember, if you know that horse carriage was there. So we use a reins, isn't it? The reins, the charioteer, I mean, the driver used to sit and used to control the horses with the reins. The reins are nothing but the mind. Then what are the horses? In the modern day, you can say steering. Steering is nothing but the steering or brake, even say, for example, brake, we can say steering or a brake is nothing but the buddhi or the intellect. Then the horses are the senses. Here wheels, you can take it. So the self is what? The owner of the vehicle. The body is nothing but the body of a person is nothing but the vehicle. And the third is driver is nothing but intellect. And the reins are nothing but the mind. And the sense organs are nothing but the horses. So when the charioteer, I mean the driver is good driver and he has got a hold on the horses, then what happens? It goes in a right direction. The chariot goes in right direction, in the desired direction. Or wherever we are supposed to go, wherever we would like to go, we will go it. Suppose the horses doesn't listen to us. The horses become erratic. So the driver is not able to control the horses with the help of sorry, with the help of reins, what happens? Then the horses goes hither and thither. Then the chariot and the charioteer and the owner, the driver, everyone will go here and there. The horses can drive us to inside the bush. It can drive on the hill, or it can drive on the valleys, and we may fall, we may die, we may have got some injuries, whatnot. If the horses are under our control, then we will go to the uh, desired place, or the place wherever we were supposed to reach. If the horses were not under our control, then we don't know where we will reach and what will happen to us. So here the control of the mind comes. So you should understand that the owner of the vehicle is what? Nothing but the self. So this owner of the body is what? The self. But the owner of the vehicle cannot be the vehicle. The vehicle cannot be the owner. Both cannot be one and the same. So similarly, I am owner of this body, no doubt, but I am not the body. So if something happens to this body, that means something has happened to vehicle. Just like there's a problem in a vehicle, we take to mechanic and we check it, we try to fix the problem and we bring it back. So similarly, if there's a problem for this body, we should take to a doctor, we should go to doctor, consult him and get it checked, scanned and diagnosed, and whatever the problem is there, accordingly, we should take medication and we should try to solve the problem. But instead of that, we will morose. Why? Because of that attachment. So this is what the science of consciousness. The moment when we understand that we are consciousness, I am that consciousness, I am not the body and mind, then that will give tremendous confidence, tremendous strength, tremendous fearlessness. In spite of having difficulties, in spite of having adverse circumstances, we can live peaceful life, stress-free life. So this is the highest truth. It is a very sublime truth, highest truth, very subtle truth even too. So we have to understand. And one more important question for all of us is, today science, modern science is speaking about consciousness. Lot of research is happening, thousands of dollars and euros are being spent for the consciousness. Here I would like to mention that they are doing a lot of research on the consciousness, no doubt. It is very well, very good, but they are, whatever the conscious they are speaking, it is about nothing but reflected consciousness. So what is this reflected consciousness? Pratibimba Chaitanya. This I have already discussed in Aprokshanubhuti, and also I am discussing all these points in my Drupdrishya Viveka classes. If anyone is interested, they can hear on Saturdays I take, and it is also available on YouTube. So when the Vedanta says that I am that conscious or I am consciousness, means it is original consciousness. So the whatever the science today, modern science is going to speak or trying to speak about, that is reflected consciousness. Whatever the Vedanta is telling, the Vedanta is trying to tell about the original consciousness. So that you have to understand. So knowing that this body and mind is an instrument, we will be able to make use of it better. Just like I started with an example, mobile. If you know the functions of the mobile, it is easy. Today, just morning, when I was taking Gita class for the Gita chanting class, an youngster had come who said the all computer and everything. In no time, just in 2-3 minutes, everything he did in a fraction of seconds. But if we do, we will take little time. But little old people, if they do, probably they will take more time. One is age gap, the other is the youngsters, because from their childhood or from their small age, from their young age itself, they are exposed to all these things. They know much. They know more than us, even including mobile also. I mean, I always tell that if I got any doubt in my mobile, with respect to mobile, then generally I ask youngsters, because they are well updated and they know many things. They can teach us easily. They are very well updated. So if you got the knowledge of the instrument properly, you can make use of it better. So similarly, you should have the knowledge of this body and mind, so that as an instrument. Now, anatomy and the medical science is there about this body. I'm not speaking about that. From the Vedantic perspective, I'm saying that you should understand very clearly, you should know it very clearly, this body and mind is a wonderful instrument given by nature. So when you know that it is an instrument and it is not you, then you'll be able to use this instrument in a better way. But if you are attached to the instrument, then you will not be able to use it in a better way. And also, one simple example I will give how the knowledge of the self can help us. Say, when we were small, sister and myself, we had gone to outside with my parents, with our parents. Then there were dolls. Both of us, we asked for a doll. Then since we are two, so father and mother thought we should not get one doll because otherwise we may fight. They got two dolls. Same quality, same material it is used, but only dolls, one is blue color, the other is black color. Now, I like blue, my sister also likes blue. So both of us, we wanted only blue color doll. Then I started, I want blue doll. Then sister said, no, I also want blue doll. No, we want blue doll. Then parents said, no, my dear, what is there in color? It is a blue doll or black color doll because both are of same size, same shape, same quality, same worth, and both are same. Just as a color change. So what does it matter? Please, one of you have got a blue and one of you have black doll. Then we cry sometimes. Sometimes we may accept. Sometimes we may cry. Sometimes we may fight each other between the brother and sister. Because of that, we might get scoldings and sometimes we must slap on our cheeks by the parents because of this behavior. But at the time, that was the great thing for us. If not, then we would have thought that I would have missed a greater thing, greatest thing. Then after 15, 20 years, the same incident happened or occurred with two kids. And now we are grown up, we are young, and we are seeing that myself and my sister, we are witnessing the same incident and we will laugh. We will laugh at it. Why? Because we also made that same foolishness. Now we know there is only change in color, otherwise, there is no change at all about the content of the doll, size, shape, worth, everything. So it is just a color, it doesn't make much sense. But when we were small, how much our parents said, elders said, relatives said, elders said, everyone said, but still we didn't listen most of the time because we feel that is the truth. Because that was our understanding of the truth. That's why we fought for it. Now, there is no change in the doll, but change has happened in our mindset. We have grown. Physically, we have grown. Apart from that, mentally, intellectually, we have grown. Our understanding has become better. Since our understanding has become better, then we know the worth of the doll. We know the difference between the dolls. So we don't fight. There is no change in the doll, but there is only change in my perception, in my knowledge. So I have grown physically as well as intellectually. Intellectual growth is much more important. So when this intellectual evolution happens in us, from I am thinking body, I am thinking I am senses, I am thinking that I am the mind, I am thinking that I am the thoughts, I am thinking that I am feelings, and I am thinking the self. So this is what the intellectual evolution of human being has happened from amoeba to human being, physical evolution. Now I'm saying intellectual evolution with respect to the ultimate truth. That is, from thinking that I am the body to the self, when that evolution happens, then my view of reality, my perception of reality, my understanding about the reality changes. The moment when the understanding about the reality has changed, and I have understood what is ultimate reality, and when I've got convinced in that, then I don't get moved by any of these worldly things. Maybe at given point of time little maybe there, I don't say no, but it will not have its great impact on me. It will not stay long time in me, or it will not leave the permanent mark on me, because I am very well aware that I am the self. I am not the body and mind, nor this world and its objects. So this is the greatness, this is this uniqueness of the self knowledge. And this tremendous confidence, tremendous strength, tremendous fearlessness, peace, happiness, everything is only attained by self knowledge, knowledge of the self. You may be the one of the world scientists, you may be a Nobel laureate, but it doesn't mean that you can be happy at all times. You can be peaceful at all times. You got Nobel Prize, fine, and afterwards you may think because of some reason of that for that cause, for this cause, I'm not happy, or I may not be happy. Like that, we can see in all the great people life. Even in Napoleon, Hitler, they had their own problems. They were the emperors. They changed the world map, they changed the Europe map, but still, were they happy? Were their end was happy? No. Whereas just a monk, an ascetic can be happy at all times. Means person, I mean to say the person who has got the knowledge of the self. I am that self, which is I am indestructible. I am eternal. I am the subject, not the object. I am the knower, not the known. I am the seer, not the seen. I am the self, not the body and mind complex. They are the instruments given by the nature to work out my fruits of action or to work or whatever. So this tremendous knowledge will help us. So Upanishadic rishis, Vedantic seers have given this time and again. We are all fortunate enough to have this knowledge. And human person, as we know, human being is the only person who can understand this, who can appreciate it, who can put into practice. That's why human life is a unique life. It is a blessed life. So, with God's grace and with our good actions done in this present life and the previous life, we have got this opportunity as a human being. And because you are all blessed, that's why you are all able to listen this Vedantic talk. So, try to listen more and more, try to understand more and more, try to put into practice so that you will be a happiest person. What happens in a lighter side? You will be evolved, you will be transferred from Buddhu to Buddha. Buddha is dull-headed fellow, foolish person. Buddha is enlightened person. So from being foolish, then you will become the enlightened ones. So that this journey is what spiritual journey. So when you study Vedanta, it elevates you, it transforms you, it removes by removing the ignorance, by destroying the ignorance, by removing the ignorance, it makes you enlightened ones. That is what Buddha stands for, that enlightened ones. May the Lord Buddha and Sri Ramakrishna and all the saints bless us so that we shall become the enlightened ones. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.